How's it going, guys? Me, David, here for another shave. And today, I got another one of them special type of shaves. It's going to be a shave where I get to use some new equipment. Now, this isn't my equipment. It was borrowed by a buddy of mine, one of my customers over at Old Town Shaving. And yes, I am back at Old Town Shaving. So for those of you that didn't know, there it is. So if you're in the area, in Old Town, Pasadena, I'm going to be there usually Saturday or Sundays. Come pay me a visit. So today I'm going to be using a razor that I have not used before. One of those premium razors that are out there again. This is a Turkish razor by a Turkish company called Rocnel. This is a Rocnel Elite Series razor. So I'm not exactly sure where I'm going to put these in, if I'm going to cut right now or I probably put them in the beginning. I'll probably put them in the beginning, but there's going to be some close-up shots of this. So you guys can see the head design. I really like the head design. The base plate is actually interesting because it's a chunky base plate. And usually the base plates aren't chunky like that. Just so you can have a little bit of a comparison to it. This is the Rocnel Elite Series. This is an above the tie R2. See, just a very solid-y, bar-ish, beefy, just chunky base plate, which is cool. So, in my conversations I was having with my boy Vince, he was telling me that there's kind of a weird thing about this razor. And when it comes to those $200 plus premium razors, I don't think there should be these type of little hiccup type stuff. It's kind of weird to me. These post holes, not post holes, but these nubs that hold the blade in place. He says with every razor blade except for the feather blades, you really have to force the blade in, and to take the blade out, it is extremely difficult. And I have found that actually true. For whatever reason, they stop right there, that far down the post hole. Sorry, it doesn't autofocus, but you kind of get the idea. I know you guys can see it at least a little bit. Well, to get it all the way down, you have to force it. Like one side will go in, but the other side won't. So you actually have to force it down. And to take it off, if you see, this is a bitch. Like, I don't know if it's probably not going to affect the shave any. At first I was thinking maybe because it's so tight in there, when you force down the base plate, maybe it'll warp the blade a little bit much. That doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. The blade is not wavy at all. So that's not, at least it doesn't appear that it'll affect the performance at all. I just think when you're spending $200 plus on a razor, it should fit pretty much perfect. I don't like that it has that little hiccup. I don't like feather blades. I have some, but I just didn't want to use them because I just generally don't enjoy them as much. They're not bad blades. They give me fine shaves. They're a little overkill for me. I don't need something that aggressive. So I don't want to use it. If I'm going to use this blade, I want to use a blade that I like. So I have a fresh pull silver in here. Again, you guys probably won't be able to see it, but the blade is not wavy at all. It didn't torque it to a way that it looks like it'll affect the shave. But it's just something that I think, especially when you're trying to change the blade, if you're especially trying to do it quick, it just seems a little dangerous. So I'm just not thrilled by it. So, but you know, so hopefully it shaves well. I don't imagine that it'll affect the performance all that much. Please excuse the water. I gotta warm with some water. I haven't soaked my brush or anything, but I'm going to use a synthetic today, so it shouldn't be much of an issue. So that is definitely a con for me. Again, if I have to drop $200 to $300 on a razor, the fit and finish has to be perfect. And if it's not, it bums me out. It bums me out. So that little issue with the blade, again, just trying to have to put so much force to get it out. I just think it's dangerous. It just seems, if any little skip, your fingers slip in a certain way, and you cut your finger, and it's just, that's something I'm not comfortable with. I don't like that, but we'll see how it goes. Today, I'm going to be using a fantastic scent. I love this scent. It's going to be Enigma Machine by Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements. It's strawberry and oud. I find it to be a very unique scent. I love it. It's just generally enjoyable for me. I don't know how people feel about it. I don't know if it's extremely popular, so I haven't really talked to Douglas about that, but it smells fantastic. So I like it. I've already used it a couple times, so I know it's a solid performer, so that's not even something I'm really concerned with right now, but, you know, it is what it is. So it's been an interesting week. Well, not week, but it's been an interesting last few weeks. It's been 3 weeks since I last did a video. And since that last time I did a video, we had a huge tragedy in Las Vegas. We had that mass shooting. And it's weird how it touches so close to home. I actually personally know somebody that was injured in the shooting. Here in my area, I don't know if every school in Southern California does it, but at least I know in the high school I went to and in the high school, in the school district I work at, the high schools have a deputy sheriff on campus. Well, our deputy sheriff that works on our campus every single day, Monday through Friday, she's on our campus. She was at that festival, music festival, right, country music festival, with her husband. She was actually shot in the stomach. And luckily, I got word today that she seemingly is going to be fine. She's going to be transferred into a hospital here shortly, probably even as soon as this weekend. The wrestling coach for our high school is also a deputy sheriff, and he said that she was texting him herself. So that's definitely a good sign. She's texting, she's communicating with folks. So spirits are good. So, you know, thank God for that. It's just crazy. And then not only that, but the high school I went to, 2 teachers that teach there now. They weren't there when I was there, so I don't know them myself, but they're very involved teachers. Like, I think they coordinate the ASB, which is like student council. I always knew ASB as student council because all the TV shows growing up, it was just student council. But they organized student council, and they were there, and the husband was shot in the wrist. Nothing super major. It sucks to get shot, I'm sure. But the wife actually got hit really bad. She was actually shot in the face, I think in the jaw area. Reports are positive. She's still, I don't think, out of the woods completely the last time I checked, but I heard that she is recovering. So definitely a very, very serious situation. So that's just crazy. In my little neighborhood, we're affected extremely directly. The school I work at and the school that I graduated from had victims in the shooting, and it's just scary, dude. It's well, I'm not one of those people that walks around scared after a tragedy like that. Like, given the opportunity, I'll still go to a music festival. When those shootings happened at the theater for one of the Batman movies, I still went to go see the movie in a theater. I wasn't but just, man, I'm not gonna lie, it does enter your head, and it's crazy, man. It's just you never really think about that getting home, because, you know, a lot of the tragedies, a lot of the mass shootings that have happened, especially like school shootings, haven't been around here. Well, school shootings have been happening in Southern California for years, but it's gang related as opposed to the shooter was a depressed human being. So I think the media and everybody kind of treats it different. Gang violence is not really paid attention to in the same way, but that's a separate story. That's a story for another time. But it's just crazy. It's just you know, a lot of the mass shootings. There was San Bernardino, but even San Bernardino for me is an hour away, even longer probably with traffic. Well, absolutely zero traffic, probably 45, 55 minutes away, over an hour with traffic. So even though that's not here, no, this is literally my neighborhood. Like, the high school I graduated from is a mile away. My high school that I work at is 4 miles away. So that doesn't get that any closer to home. So it's pretty crazy. So here we go. First pass with the grain with the Rocnel Elite Series razor. Yeah, so let's see how it goes. So I'm really happy that I'm able to report some good news with that. Like, you don't. This is really, really weird, man. But yeah, I'm just, again, I'm happy that it's positive reports. Our deputy sheriff that got hurt, she has probably like a year of type of recovery, I think they estimated. So it'll be some time before we see her in a work capacity. Hopefully when she's back on her feet, she'll come by the school and, but at least it looks positive. Getting hit in the stomach. And because of the angle, I think it hit her in the stomach and it interfered with like her pelvis. So I hear that's causing some difficulty. So she has a long, pretty fucked up road ahead of her in recovering. But at least she's able to walk that road. So that's definitely a blessing. Cool. First pass was cool. This is going to be, so the aggressiveness of this razor, just judging by that, is going to be towards the more milder side. Is it crazy, ridiculously mild? No, but it is towards, again, it's probably in the spectrum of medium aggressiveness, but maybe towards the early parts of medium. Maybe somewhere around the Mercury 34C HD. Probably maybe a touch more aggressive than that. Has great weight. And funny enough, this razor, how chunky it is, you would think it's heavier. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's some kind of hollowed out areas in this, like in the handle, because it looks really beefy, but it's definitely not as heavy as like my Mongoose or even the ATT with like the longer handles. That handle right there on that. Oh, that ATT. I think that's just a generic. That's just a generic stainless steel handle I had laying around. So, but like the ATT with the longer handle, I think feels heavier, and the heads definitely don't look as beefy. Yeah, so it's interesting. So I would imagine maybe the handle has some hollowed out areas because it's heavy. The head feels heavier than the handle. The distribution of weight is definitely top heavy. So let's go against the grain. It is aggressive enough to where I can feel the blade where it's at. I'm not having any issues locating the blade. I know exactly what it's doing, which, I enjoy. If you've been watching me for a while, you know that I like to know where my blade's at. A little bit more audible feedback than I thought I would get. Very, very nice. The Pole Silver blade is just working excellent, dude. I love those blades. Pole Silvers have taken over as my favorite blade. They took over. They passed up the Persona Blues. Persona Lab Blues for a long time were my favorite, and I think they're still Rocio's favorite. But there we go. Also, Gillette Silver Blues. Gillette Silver Blues are AJ's favorite blade, and yeah, they're impressive. I like them. I don't think they're as sharp as like the Gillette Platinum, so they fit right into my preference zone. They're more than medium sharp. They're definitely not a middle of the road blades. In terms of sharpness, they're a little bit more towards the sharp, but they're not the sharpest. And they're smooth. They're just buttery smooth. So, I love them. Third and final pass. Getting through this shave nice. So this razor, very, very easy to use. Very easy to find the blade angle. Not an aggressive razor at all. Medium aggressiveness. Again, I think it's a touch more aggressive than like a 34C HD. So definitely middle of the road plus. So it's upper middle class in terms of aggressiveness, if that makes any sense to you guys. Very nice. So the water's going well. As with normal during the summer, I have some rough spots with my water. It was getting a little difficult to lather. So you definitely had to load heavy. I actually overloaded this brush right now. It looks like the water quality is going back up. Again, I never know what causes that issue, but I have it every summer. But it's definitely getting better now. This blade is mild enough for me to be comfortable with buffing. So if you've seen, I've gone over the same spot a few times without reapplying lather. I don't feel any kind of sensitivity or irritation at all, which is really great, especially for the neck area. Since with the summer just being pretty much just passing, I was getting these last few shaves, I was getting a little tenderness over here. Just because I wasn't shaving as much. I was literally shaving once a week, if that, sometimes. So when I would shave, that neck was a bit tender because it just wasn't used to taking the abuse no more. This one, I did shave 2 days ago, so definitely sooner. But still, I wouldn't think that my skin is still 100% back to what it was able to withstand before. But it seems good. It's feeling really, really nice. You could hear the feedback, but I don't feel the blade shattering too much, that's good. See, that's the weird balance I have to find. I like a razor with enough blade exposure to where I can feel what the blade's doing, but then I don't like a whole lot of wiggle. Like sometimes you just feel those blades, and when you hear them loud, you just feel them dancing, and that's just it's not comfortable. That's not a comfortable shave at all. That's like going in an old car over a bunch of speed bumps. You're gonna feel every little bit of it, and I don't like that part. So that's good. I don't feel that. So that's very, very nice. So let me rinse this off, and I'll give you my final thoughts. Yeah. All right, so now the results: BBS, perfect shave, zero irritation, no sensitivity. Again, I don't know if maybe that's my skin just finally getting bouncing back, but again, I doubt it. This is the first week in months that I've actually shaved after a couple days, because again, it's been literally about once a week at most. Feels fantastic, excellent results. Love the weight. Definitely not the heaviest stainless steel razor, which is definitely a plus. Some of those big beefy ass stainless steel razors, they can get pretty heavy and cause some hand fatigue. This one I didn't have that issue at all. Again, the head is going to be a little top heavy, but the razor, the handle has nice weight to it. I do feel that it has been, again, I believe it's been hollowed out. So I don't believe that this is completely just solid. I don't believe so. I could be wrong. If anybody from Rocnel actually sees this, maybe you could answer. I'm not upset if it's hollowed, because I actually like the weight of this razor. The knurling is plentiful, but it also feels, it's smooth. It's not super sandpapery. It's giving texture without feeling rough. If you know what I'm talking about, it's just really, really nice. Really, really nice. The handle is a little simple. It looks pretty basic. But not everything has to be super fancy. If it's just a badass piece of equipment and that shit works well, shit, I'll take it. And it does work really well. Still a pretty big turnoff for me, how you have to force the blade out the way it does. Hopefully they fix that, or I don't even know if they're making more razors like this. I have no relationship with anybody at Rocnel. I probably could reach out to them, but I don't know. Maybe the language barrier. I don't know if I want to deal with all that. But it's a nice razor. It shaves well. I'm definitely going to get a couple more shaves in before I have to give it back to my buddy Vince. And but I'm pleased with it. This was a damn good shave. It feels fantastic. I haven't put any witch hazel on. I haven't put any aftershave, which I will be going with the matching Enigma Machine aftershave. It feels great. My skin feels fine. Again, no irritation. Nothing's bothering me. That's a damn good sign for this big beefy ass razor. And it was just smooth. So thank you guys for joining me. I appreciate you. Man, I miss doing videos. It's good stuff. So hopefully you guys will be seeing me more often. My lights went out in my damn restroom. So that's why you guys haven't been seeing me. I was already ready to be getting into the flow and doing more videos, but then my lights were out for like 2.5 weeks. So that's how it goes. So I shouldn't have any more issues. Hopefully all is well again. And I'm planning on getting on a good flow. So fall, it's my time to come back. So thank you guys for joining me. I'll catch you on the next one.